Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Chemistry Tutorial. In the previous parts of group theory, we have discussed the vibrational modes calculation and also the IR and Raman activity of few molecules with examples and the great orthogonality theorem. So if you want to check those videos, the links are given in the description box, and also check the group theory playlist in the channel. So today in this video, we are going to move on to the next example, platinum chloride. That is D4H point group. The shape of the geometry of the molecule is square planar. Before moving into the lesson, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please take a second to subscribe to this channel. Many people are watching without subscribing the channel. So if you are really interested and if you are really benefited from my videos, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I am preparing all the videos with a lot of efforts and spending a lot of time in making each videos. So please don't forget to subscribe to our channel Chemistry Tutorial. So now let's get started. As you can see, this is the structure of platinum chloride, and it is a square planar structure with the D4H point group. And here you can see the complete character table of a D4H point group. With this, we are going to find all the modes of motion by finding the irreducible representations and also the IR and Raman activity predictions. We have already discussed that there are 4 steps to find all these things. So the first step is to deduce the reducible representation of this D4H point group. And as you can see, this is the structure of platinum chloride. And there are 5 atoms in the molecule, and on each atom 3 vectors x, y, z acts, and there will be totally 15 arrows or 15 vectors, which forms the basis for the reducible representation. Then there are 2 rules for generating the reducible representations. So the 2 rules are that every atom which is shifted during a particular symmetry operation contributes nothing to the character of the reducible representation. But when an atom remains unshifted during a symmetric operation, it will contribute an amount to the reducible representation. The character of the symmetry operations like identity C4, C2 are written here. Now we have to calculate the total reducible representation, or we have to find the total character of each operation in the case of D4H point group. For this, we have to do all the symmetry operations given in the character table and find how many unshifted atoms are present when we do each symmetry operation. So as you can see, I have represented all the symmetry operations in this paper. So this is platinum chloride, and when we are doing identity, that is, there is no change in the case of identity operation. So the number of atoms unshifted in the case of identity is 5. Next, we have to do the C4 axis of rotation, and the C4 axis pass perpendicular to the plane, and while we are rotating perpendicular to the plane, then the platinum alone will remain unshifted. So in the case of C4, the number of unshifted atoms will be 1. Next is the case of C2, and there we have 2 C2s. The axis passing along these 2 chlorine atoms, we say C2 prime. And the axis passing along this platinum, we say it is C2 double prime. So now we have to find for each case. So for C2 prime, we have, when we are doing this C2 prime, the axis passes along chlorine, platinum and chlorine. So while we are rotating along this axis, these 3 atoms will be unshifted and these 2 will be shifted. So the number of atoms unshifted will be 3 in the case of C2 prime. In the case of C2 double prime, you can see the axis pass along only the platinum, and while we are rotating along this axis, all these 4 chlorines will be shifted. So the number of unshifted atoms in this case, that is C2 double prime, is 1. So the next, we have sigma H, that is the plane of the molecule. That the plane passes along the molecular plane, and all the 5 atoms will remain unshifted. So sigma H, all the 5 remains unshifted. In the case of sigma V, as you can see, the plane passes along this chlorine, platinum and chlorine. So these 2 chlorines will be shifted and the unshifted atoms will be 3. So sigma V, we have 3. In the case of sigma D, the plane passes, that is the plane cuts this part. So the platinum alone will remain unshifted and all the other 4 chlorines will shift in this case of sigma D. So in sigma D, the number of unshifted atoms will be 1. Next, in the case of inversion. In the case of inversion, this platinum will be the point of inversion and all the chlorine will be shifted. So in the case of inversion, number of unshifted atoms will be 1, and in the case of S4, we have to rotate along the axis C4 and then we have to place a mirror plane also. So the axis passes along platinum and so the platinum alone will be remaining unshifted during this operation. So number of atoms unshifted will be 1. So using this, we are going to create a table and find the total reducible representation for platinum chloride. That is the D4H point group. So here you can see the first row consists of all the symmetry operations and the second row contains all the number of unshifted atoms during the operations, and this is the character of the operation in general. And now we are going to multiply these number of unshifted atoms and the character to get the reducible representation for D4H point group. And so finally we get this value, and the reducible representation of this platinum chloride will be this. So the next step is we have to find the irreducible representations from these reducible representations. So to decompose this reducible representation into the irreducible representations, we have a formula. That is, number of IRR is equal to 1 by H sigma R n into character of the reducible representation and character of the irreducible representation. Here H is the order, and in this case the order is 16 and n is the number of operations in each class. So for identity C2I and sigma H we have 1. So you can see here, so in the case of E, C2I and sigma H we have only 1 operation in these classes. So the n will be 1, and in this case we have 2 C4 under the class C4. So we have 2, n equal to 2 in C4, n equal to 2 in C2 dash, here also 2, here also 2, in this sigma V and sigma D also we have n value 2. So here I have shown a simple calculation for the first A1G irreducible representation, that is 1 by 16, that is 1 by order into the summation of the number of operations in identity, that is 1, and 15 that comes from the reducible representation, and this 1 comes from the irreducible representation A1G under the operation E. Here you can see 1. Thus we have to write the same way we have to write for all the other operations, and also we have to find for all the irreducible representation, that is how many irreducible representations are present in this particular D4H point group. So finally we get the irreducible representation for platinum chloride as 1 A1G, 1 A2G plus 1 B1G plus 1 B2G plus 1 EG plus 2 AU, A2U plus 2 B2U and 3 EU. So the next step 3 is the calculation of the symmetry species of vibration. So this consists of all the modes of motion, that is translational, rotational, vibration. Now we have to separate them into translational, rotational, vibrational modes. So here we have the character table, and here we have all the irreducible representations. So now this together consists of the translational, rotational, vibrational modes, and for translational we should have X, Y, Z, and for rotational we should have Rx, Ry and Rz in the second column. So here you can see, here we have Z, that is A to U, we have Z, and in the case of EU we have X and Y. So you know E is a two-dimensional operation. I have clearly explained it in the previous videos. So in the case of POCl3. So in the case of EU, we have to take together X and Y as single EU. So here you can say 1 A2U and 1 EU. So for translational we can say 1 A2U and 1 EU. And for rotation, so in the case of rotation, you can see Rx and Ry together in a bracket, that is Eg. So it is a two-dimensional factor. So 1 Eg, and here you can see Rz in A2G. So 1 A2G and 1 Eg. So 1 A2G and 1 Eg. And the remaining will give the vibrational modes. So the vibrational modes is A1G plus B1G plus B2U plus B2G plus A2U plus 1 B2U plus 2 EU. So we have only 1 B2U. Okay. So now we have to cross check with 3n minus 6. So 3 into 5 minus 6, that is 9 modes we should get. And here we can check 1 AG. So 1 plus 1 BG. So 1 into 1, 1 plus 1 B2U. 1 into 1 plus 1, we get 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 into 2 dimensional, so 2. So we get 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 4, we get 9. So finally we get 9 modes. So the modes of vibration we calculated is matching with the modes of vibration we calculated using this formula. So the next step, that is the fourth step, is to find the IR and Raman activity of these modes. So now we are going to find the IR and Raman activity as the step 4. So we have written all these vibrational modes in one column and IR and Raman activity in the other column. So for IR activity, there should be X, Y, Z in the second column, and for Raman activity, there should be some linear combination of these X, Y, Z axes in the third column. So we are going to cross check all these irreducible representations as whether we have these X, Y, Z and linear combinations. So first we will check for IR activity. So we have to check in this column. So in the case of A1G, we don't have any XYZ. In the case of B1G, no XYZ. In the case of B2G, we don't have XYZ. In the case of A2U, we have an Z. So A2U is IR active. And B2U, no XYZ. EU, we have XY. So IR active. And all others are IR inactive. So now we are going to check the Raman activity. So for A1G, we have some linear combination, so it is Raman active. In the case of B1G, we have linear combination, so Raman active. In the case of B2G, we have some linear combination, so it is Raman active. And A2U, no linear combination, Raman inactive. B2U, no combinations, Raman inactive. EU, no linear combinations, again Raman inactive. So finally, the vibrational modes and the IR and Raman activity are predicted using the group theory. So if you like this video, please give a thumbs up and share to all your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because your subscription will be motivating me to do more and more videos which are useful for you. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So see you on the next video. Thank you. Thanks for watching.